Hello, wonderful people. Thank you so much for joining in on today's tutorial. Please make sure you subscribe if you have not. Turn on your post notification bell so you're notified when I update our next video. So in today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing us how to achieve a front slit on a lace fabric without using another lining, without using the double lining. You are able to achieve a very neat front slit on your lace material, and it's going to come out well. It's going to come out proper. So you're going to determine where you want your slit to be, if you want it on the left or on the right. As for me, I want it at the left, so I'm going to be making my markings on the left side of my fabric. So you're going to place your tape at the waist side. From the waist, you mark where you want your slit to start from. I want my slit to start from 18 inches. Before then, I'm going to mark from the middle where the distance how far I want my slit to be from the middle point. So make sure you mark the middle side of your skirt. Yes, that's the middle of my skirt there. So from that middle, I'm going to place my tape, and I'm going to mark 4.5 inches away from the middle. Go ahead and do likewise, or if you want to extend yours more, but for me 4.5 is okay. So I'm going to place my tape right at the waist, and I'm going to come down by 18.5. If you want yours deeper, you can stop at 15, you can stop at 14. I want mine at 18. So I'll go over and begin to mark my 4.5 inches from that point down to the hem of the skirt. Just go ahead and mark it down. Then after this, I'm going to take my ruler and rule a straight line connecting those dots to the hem, down to the hem of the skirt. Just rule a straight line. So that is it. And I'm going to be using my bias strip to achieve this slit. To achieve this front slit, that's my bias there. So I'm going to be placing it quarter of an inch away from that straight line, and I will sew it from the 18.5 inches mark to the hem and all the way down again. So let's go over to the sewing machine and I'll show you. So I stitched a straight line. Before adding your bias, stitch a straight line right on the marking, on the straight line you rule out at the skirt. Stitch on that marking down to the point. Then you're going to take your bias and fold it at the edge before placing it at the hem of your skirt. You're going to be placing it quarter of an inch away from that stitch you made, from that marking, quarter of an inch. And then on your bias, you're going to be stitching it on the quarter inch. There's a way the bias is folded, like an edge is folded in, another edge is folded. So on one of the edge, just carefully stitch on that edge. You can see what I'm doing. Carefully stitch there on the edge, quarter of an inch edge of the bias. I don't know if what I'm saying is making sense, but just try to look at how I'm going about it. And then you're stitching quarter of an inch away from the straight stitch you made. So at the curve at the edge of that stitch, there's going to be a curve there. So you carefully do it, carefully turn it. You can use your hand to turn the sewing machine. That is what I'm actually doing here, because using my foot might just become so fast. So use your hand to carefully stitch it at that point, turning your sewing machine. Yes, carefully. so that you can get that curve very well. Yeah, then just go on and keep sewing down, still 1/4 inch away from the straight stitch you made, and 1/4 inch on your bias strip. So when you get to the end of your skirt, the edge, you're still going to fold the bias up before stitching. You know, the reason for folding up like this is to have a clean finishing at that point. When you're done and you turn it in, the edge is clean. So after this, the next thing you're going to do, you're going to take your scissors and you cut through that straight stitch you made. Now the straight stitch is in between the two bias you have just finished stitching. So you're going to cut through it carefully to the end. Then when you get to the end, to that curve, make sure you notch it properly. You notch it carefully. Don't cut the stitch, but notch it properly. After that, you're going to turn your skirt over to the wrong face. It depends on where you want your bias to be. Some people, they want to use the bias like a form of design on their fabric, so they can sew it into the right face. But I want to hide my bias, so I'm sewing it into the wrong face. So this how is going to be at the right face, while our bias strip is going to be on the wrong face. We've turned it in now, so you're going to stitch it down just like I'm doing. You're going to carefully stitch it down, adjusting your fabric properly while you stitch. So when you get to that curve, you're still going to be careful around that side. You're going to carefully stitch it at that point again, adjusting it properly so that it comes inward very well while you stitch it down. So you stitch it all the way to the hem of your lace, and then you back stitch at that point to secure it properly. So yes, and that's the process we have to follow to achieve this front slit on our lace without using a double lining. So thank you guys so much for all your support through 2023. This is our last video of this year. Thank you, and do subscribe, like, and comment. Turn on your post notification bell so you're updated. Thank you.